Hey everybody, it's time for game 24 in the Chicago White Sox 1977 replay. We moved on from Kansas City to the Mistake by the Lake Municipal Stadium in Cleveland as the Sox open a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians. And I've done some adjustments in some discussions I've had with some fellow gamers. I was doing this in full super advanced, but then being realistic, that just takes way too long to try to play 162 games in the super advanced. So we've toned it down a bit, or at least I've decided to tone it down a bit with some of their suggestions. So what I'm going to end up doing is playing advanced with a hybrid of super advanced. So I'm going to try to keep what I think are the best elements of super advanced, but take away some of the things that maybe bog the game down a little bit, at least in my opinion. So what we're going to do here for advanced, we're not going to have any ballpark effects. So there's going to be no ballpark. We don't care what the weather is. If it's a diamond or an upside down triangle, we're just going to read the original result, not worry about the ballpark check. The open triangle, and I'll try to find one, yeah, right here, like on Dwayne Kuiper's card. That open triangle, if we get the open triangle, we're going straight to this result, fly right field B. We're not going to go to the split result, and that's for any open triangles that there are. Of course, there's no injuries because we're doing as played. And on the super advanced, we're going to be using the super advanced fielding metric because I just think it does a whole lot better than the advanced. The advanced seems to create too many errors, and it doesn't take any longer to do this one than it does the advanced. I mean, you're still doing one check and kind of getting everything. Plus, I bought this nice cardboard one, and I want to be able to use it. So, and I do think it's far superior than the advanced fielding chart. Stealing, I've got my qualms on the stealing one. I'm not sure exactly how I want to play it, but my original philosophy is to do a mixture of both. So what I'm going to do here, let's say Dwayne Kuiper wants to steal. Dwayne Kuiper is a C stealer, so I'm not going to worry about these numbers here as far as getting a jump. I'm just looking straight at the C steal. So the C steal says he starts with an 11. All right, now what are we going to use to, make reductions or additions to that? In the advanced rule, you just use the catcher arm rating. You don't worry about the pitcher hold rating, but I'm going to incorporate the pitcher hold rating along with the catcher arm to get the final result. So say the pitcher is a, let's look at today's starter, Francisco Barrios. He's got a +1 hold rating. Catcher Essien's a 0. So we take Kuiper. He's a C, which means, back to the chart, means he starts at an 11. Well, you add in the arm rating of 0 for Barrios, is still an 11. I mean, for Essien, still an 11. You add 1 for Barrios, his +1 arm gives him a 12. And then you have -2 for being held, makes it a 10. So in this case, it'd be a 1 to 10 to get the steal. He doesn't have to try to establish a jump or anything. He just simply is announced he's going to try to steal and so forth. And same with if I do any hit and running or bunts, stuff like that, I'm going to go to this chart, not the one on the super advanced side, because I think this is still provides a nice result where you don't need the super advanced for that. So primarily super advanced is going to be in the fielding chart with a little bit mixed in with the stealing, where you're using not only the catcher arm, but we're going to add in the pitcher hold rating, which I think is very important because some pitchers like John Lester can't hold anybody on, and so they're much easier to steal on. All right, and of course, the big thing that's going to help is there'll be no D20 rolls when somebody gets on base to check for balk or pickoff. So that's going to help expedite the game along as well. At least it seems that way, like it would. So I'm going to try it, and I think it'll be much better for me. So I'll time it once the game gets going here and see just how long it actually takes. Now, what I'm also going to be doing is I'm only going to be doing videos of the first game of every series. So this is the first game of the Cleveland series. I'll do a video here. I'll play the other 2 games on the computer and get the stats and results, updated records. And then for the first game of the next series, I'll give a recap on what happened in the other 2 games of the Cleveland series and also give update on the win-loss record. So again, hoping that will streamline a little bit and get this ball rolling down the hill. All right, for the Indians, starting today's game, well, I'm sorry, that's the White Sox. Starting today's game is Francisco Barrios. And for the Indians, it'll be the Eck, Dennis Eckersley. Of course, he pitched a no-hitter against California in the 77 season. He also had a big string of consecutive innings without giving up a run Don't remember how many it was, but he came like on a few innings of breaking the major league record for that. But see, overall 14 and 13, 3.53 ERA. So a good pitcher, but he can be hit. So we'll see how it goes. For the White Sox, most of their primary guys are back in the lineup, so they're hoping that will help them. Ralph Garr leads off in left. Alan Bannister's at short. George Orta at second. Richie Zisk in right. Jim Spencer at first. Oscar Campbell the DH. Eric Soderholm at third. Chet Lemon in center. And Jim Essien behind the plate. And for the Indians, first time seeing the Indians in this season, Dwayne Kuiper leads off at second. Buddy Bell's at third. He will hit second. Jim Norris, and Jim Norris is going to be the right fielder. He will hit third. Johnny Grubb is in left field. He will hit cleanup. Rick Manning's in center. He will hit fifth. Rico Carty's the DH. He will hit sixth. Bill Melton's at first. He will hit seventh. Larvell Blanks is at short. He will hit eighth. And the catcher is Fred Kendall. So now we got those out of the way. We can go ahead and get started. Right now we're at just over 6 minutes. So we'll see how long the video or the game will take playing these new hybrid rules. Hopefully it will be a little bit more expedited. We shall see. Okay, first batter of the game is Ralph Garr. He'll lead off against Eckersley, and here we go with game number 24. The Sox are 13 and 10 heading into this game. 1-6 for Garr is a ground ball to second, so he is out of there. Eckersley retires Garr. Here is Alan Bannister. Bannister a 4-10. Eckersley against a right-hander. 4-10 is a ground ball, third base X. So we are going to go to the super advanced fielding chart and stay with that at third base. And third baseman is Buddy Bell. And Buddy Bell, his fielding is a 2E21. I'm sorry, 2E21. So a 2E21 for Buddy Bell. 2 and a 12. We know he will get to that. So we don't have to worry about whether he makes the play or not, or gets there or not. It's a 6, and he's an E21. E21, there's a 6 right here. Unfortunately for Mr. Bell, on a 21, E21, there's a 6 right there. So Buddy makes the error. He boots it, E5. And that won't help Eckersley much. Eckersley expected Bell to make that play. Here's George Orta. And again, we don't need the D20 when somebody's on base like this. We're just going to roll the regular 3 dice. 5-9. Lefty is Orta. 5-9. It's a fly ball to left. So there's 2 down. And that brings up Richie Zisk. Struggling with only 1 home run. He thought he had more power than that by now. 6-9. He's going to strike out. So Zisk is out of there. Nothing doing for the White Sox in the first. We go to the bottom of the first, no score, with the Indians coming to bat. And Francisco Barrios stepping to the bump. And on the season, on the 1977 season, he was 14 and 7 with a 4.32 ERA. Or is it 4.12? Let me see. 4.12. I'm sorry, 4.12 ERA. All right, here's Dwayne Kuiper, current San Francisco Giant announcer. 2-5 against Barrios, and he's going to get a solid single for Dwayne Kuiper. So if I wanted to invoke that steal that we were talking about, we've already done the calculations. He's a C, which gives him an 11, and it's a +1 aggregate for the pitcher and catcher, gives him a 12, -2 for being held is a 10. So he has a 50-50 chance of stealing, and actually, in real life, he was successful 50% of the time. Stole 11, got caught stealing 11. So we're going to give it a go. 1 to 10, he's going to try to steal. And he makes it. So successful stolen base for Dwayne Kuiper. He's on second base with nobody out for Buddy Bell. Try to atone for that error. 1-7, he will not. It's a ground ball to short, and that means Kuiper's going to have to hold. 1 away for Jim Norris. 5-11, and like I said, that would be a ballpark single check, but we're going straight. I'm sorry, that's 4-11. 5-11, that would be a diamond shot home run chance, but we're going straight to the regular home run chance. Norris has weak power, so he cannot homer. He can single on a 1 to 13, 14 to 20. He will fly to right. And it's 20, so he flies to right for out number 2. But because he has weak power, he would not have homered anyway. So there's 2 down for Johnny Grubb. 6-6 against the left-hander is a pop-up to order at second, and the inning is over. So the single and stolen base don't lead to any Cleveland runs. We go to the top of the second, still no score. The Eck back on the mound, facing Jim Spencer, first baseman. Spencer, 5-7. That's a strikeout. So Eckersley strikes out 2 in a row now. Takes us to Oscar Gamble. 6-9 against a lefty is a fly to left. 2 down for Eric Soderholm, back from injury, back to his normal third base position. 4-8. 4-8 is a strikeout. So Eckersley rolling literally and figuratively. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. And it'll be Rick Manning to lead off for the Indians against Mr. Barrios. 3-8, and that's a single. Solid single for Rick Manning. Now, he's a B stealer, so he's got an even better chance to steal than Kuiper did, because Kuiper was a C. So he's a B, which means he starts as a 13. And then, of course, you got the +1 and the -2, makes the aggregate of 12. So it's a 1 to 12, and he will steal. So they're going to try it. And he makes it. So another stolen base. They were running roughshod on Barrios and Essien. So Manning with the steal. He's in scoring position for Rico Carty. DH 1-9. And Carty singles to right field. Let's see if he was being held. He starts as a 16. He's being held, make him a 15. The right fielder arm, Zisk. Zisk arm is a 0. So it would be a 1 to 15. But with nobody out, why take the chance? You figure they're going to score anyway. So runners are at the corners with nobody out. And Bill Melton, the batter, Sox at double play depth. They'll give up the run to get the out if they can. And Melton has quite a few ground ball A's on his card. This one's off Barrios, though, 4-8. 4-8 is a 1 to 19 single with 1 star. So unless this is a 20, the run will score. And it's a 1, actually. So it's a base hit for Melton. 3 hits in a row. That will score Manning. And we'll send Carty to second. So drive up 1-0. And still nobody out with 2 on. And here's Larvell Blanks. He's an A bunter, so he's going to go to the sacrifice chart. Advanced sacrifice bunt chart. We will do that instead of the super advanced. So we're going to go to the super advanced sacrifice chart using the 2d6s. We get a 4. He is an A, which means they're brought the quarters in and makes him a B. B and a 4. A B and a 4. Batter is thrown out by pitcher. Runner advances 1 base. So good sacrifice. We will call it 1 to 4 on the sacrifice, and both runners now move into scoring position. And with 1 out, they're going to bring the infield in now. Against Eckersley, you don't know how many runs you're going to score, so you're going to try to choke that run off. Here's Fred Kendall. 5-5, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Barrios. Gets the whiff. Now the infield can return to normal depth, but they still have Dwayne Kuiper, the pesky Dwayne Kuiper, to deal with. 3-8, and not pesky this time. He grounds it back to Barrios. And Barrios pitches out of what could have been a really bad jam and holds the Tribe to 1 run. So after 2 innings, it's only 1-0. Certainly nothing the Sox can't come back from, the Southside Hitmen. All right, so Eckersley going to enjoy that 1-0 lead. And Chet Lemon steps to the plate. 5-3 is a ground ball. I'm sorry, 5-3 is an in-home run chance. Again, there's a diamond shot, but we're not doing ballpark effects, so it's just going to be a 1 to 16 home run. He does have normal power. So 1 to 16, and Lemon will go deep and tie the game. And he does. So Chet Lemon makes Eckersley bitter on that home run. And we are tied. Here's Jim Essien. 2-2 for Essien, and he's going to have a 1 for a single. Anything else, he lines to second. And he lines to Kuiper out number 1. That'll bring up Ralph Garr, top of the order. 6-11 for Eckersley is a ground ball to second, so Kuiper will again make the play. 2 down for Bannister. 2-2 for Bannister. And here's that open triangle. And we're going to go, I said we're going to go with the first result, not what's down here. So it's a fly to right. And that's going to end the inning. So I predetermined that before I started because I didn't want to have to make that decision on the fly. So there you go. The Sox tie it on the lemon homer. Go to the bottom of the third, 1-1. Barrios back out. We'll be facing Buddy Bell. Bell grounded to short his first time up. 1-6. He's going to ground to third this time. So testing the Sox infield, but to no avail. Here's Jim Norris. 5-9, lefty. And there's a home run chance right here, 1-12. But again, he has weak power. So 1-12 is a single, 13-20 is a double. And that's a double for Jim Norris. So Norris with a 1-out double. And back come the Tribe. Here is Johnny Grubb. 2-6 for Grubb is ground ball pitcher A, so the runner on second's going to have to hold as Barrios froze him there. So 2 down, it's up to Rick Manning. 4-5 against a lefty. It's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So Barrios pitches around that double. And after 3 complete, we are all tied at 1 apiece here in Cleveland. It's a little bit different not using all the super advanced, the ballparks and everything, but I think I can get used to it, and I definitely like how I'm not rolling the D20 so many times. Help speed things up. Here's George Order. I don't feel like I'm missing a whole lot of realism by doing this. 4-6 is a strikeout. Strikeout number 1, or first out of the inning rather. Here's Zisk. 3-8 for Zisk, and he hits a solid single to right field. Now Zisk is an E stealer, so he's not even going to be held on, much less try to steal. So he's just going to hang there. And here's Spencer. 2-10 for Spencer. He hits a fly to left. 2 down. And it'll be up to Oscar Gamble. 5-10. And that would be a ballpark check, but we're not doing that. It's simply a fly to right. That saves another D20 roll. So they don't seem like much individually, but when you add them up over the course of a game, you can save a couple of minutes. And if you're playing 100 and some games, that can save a couple of hours. So Eckersley gets through the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 1. Here's Rico Carty. 2-5 for Rico. He grounds to Orta at second. 1 away. Oops, brings up Bill Melton. Melton, a 2-3 is a ground ball to third. Soderholm takes care of that. Here's Larvell Blanks. 3-6. And that's a 2-out single for Larvell Blanks. He wasn't firing blanks. He fired the single. And now brings up Fred Kendall. 2-4. 2-4 for Kendall's a ground ball to first. Again, no ballpark effect. So it's simply a ground out to first to end the inning. Probably could have, well, I don't know, Blanks was a D stealer, so I wasn't going to try to steal with him. So 4 innings in the books. Nothing's been decided. It's still 1-1. Now Eckersley has a fatigue rating of 6, and Barrios is a 7. So still good for a couple of innings. Here's Eric Soderholm to start the 5th. 2-10. 2-10 is a home run chance again, and we're not doing the ballpark, so a 1-16 will be a homer for Soderholm. 1-16. And it is Eric Soderholm with a home run. So 2 solo shots off of Eckersley. And that's all they've gotten, but that's all they've needed to take a 2-1 lead. Chet Lemon, speaking of home runs, 1-7. He's going to draw a walk, and that's an old axiom by Tabletop Earl, that the most prevalent result after home run seems to be a walk, and there it was right there in action. Chet Lemon's a C stealer. He's not going to try it. All he might. Eckersley's a +4 hold rating. Let's see what Kendall's arm is. Kendall's a +2, so that's a +5. You can't get more than 5. So that's a +5. So Lemon actually is going to try to steal here because of the +5 factor. So he starts with a C, which means he starts with an 11. But you add 5 to that, makes it a 16, and then you subtract 2 for being held, makes it a 14. So 1-14, and he's going to go. And he's out. Got caught stealing. And in that situation, it looks like he was safe, but then slid off the bag just like the D20 did. So he's out of there. So it was a good gamble, but just didn't pay off. And one away for Jim Essien. 2-6 for Essien. He's going to pop it to short. Out number 2. And I kind of like this new base stealing thing. It saves me the trouble having to get a lead and all that stuff, but you still factor in the pitcher and the catcher. Here's Gar, 6-10. Ground ball third base X, that's Buddy Bell, and we are using super advanced. Bell's already made one error in the game. Let's see if he can avoid it this time. 17, he'll get to that. And with there being 2 outs, you don't worry about a double play. Well, the bases are empty anyway, so that really doesn't matter. All right, Buddy Bell, if we look at his defensive rating, he's a 2 E21. 2 and a 17, he'll get to that. E21, make sure there's no 9. And there's not. Last time he made an error when there was a 6. This is a 9, so that takes care of it. So Buddy Bell, oops, gets Ralph Gar to end the inning, but the run comes in for the Sox. And one thing I noticed I forgot to do when I was setting all this stuff up is I bought this little microphone thingy and forgot to connect it. And what that usually has done the last couple of videos is allowed me to step away from the camera a little bit but still keep the volume. So I'm going to see if that will continue to work. I'm going to plug it up. Hopefully that will not affect what's going on here, but we shall see. So let's plug that in and hopefully get some better sound. Sorry about that. Hopefully get some better sound. Let's put this up here so it'll stay stationary. Hopefully I can get this thing, clip it on a button shirt. Okay, so hopefully that works better now. Hopefully the sound has gotten a little bit better, but we shall see. Won't know until I go back and test this out. So anyway, the inning was over, so Eckersley is done. And Barrios is back out. Now given a 2-1 lead to protect. Here's Dwayne Kuiper, top of the order. Singled, stole the base, and grounded to the pitcher. 1-8. He's going to ground it to Orta, and there's one away. So 1 down, and here's Buddy Bell. 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. 1-8. Another ground out. He grounds it back to Barrios. Easy play. 2 down, and here's Jim Norris. Doubled his last trip. 2-5. He's going to hit a solid single this time. So Norris, 2 for 3. He is an A stealer, so he's definitely looking to run. And as an A stealer, if we go back and look at the chart, as an A stealer, he starts with a 15. And we know that Barrios is a +1 and Essien's a 0, so that makes it a 16. Take away 2 for being held, makes it a 14. So 1 to 14, he'll make it. And he barely does, but that's all that counts. So third stolen base of the game for the Tribe. As Norris steals, gets into scoring position for Johnny Grubb, who was 0 for 2. 1-6, he's going to draw a walk. Now that'll put 2 on with 2 out. For Rick Manning, Manning has singled, stolen the base, and struck out, but he's got a big opportunity here to get his team back in the game, or in the lead, I should say. 5-5, and he'll draw a walk. So the bases are now loaded for Rico Carty. So the old man, Rico Carty, the old DH, has a chance with the bases juiced. 2-10. 2-10, he's going to foul out to Essien. That's going to end the inning. So he fails in the clutch, and of course we're not doing clutch ratings. Again, that's another one of the super advanced things I'm not going to do is the clutch. So we'll just play it straight up when it comes to that. All right, Eckersley now, this will begin his point of weakness chance, as he's got a number 6 right here, so we'll keep an eye on him. See what he will do. Here's Bannister. 6'4". 6'4" is a ground ball shortstop X. That's LeVar Blanks. Or Larvell Blanks, and Larvell Blanks is a 4 E28. So not very good, a 4 E28. Let's see if he can get to it. 415, he will get to it. 415, he will get to it. That is an 8, and he is an E28. E28, E28, there is no 8, so it's a good play. The Larvell blanks. Makes the nice play on Bannister, 1 away. Brings up George Orta. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 5-10. It's going to fly to right. Again, no ballpark effects. It's simply a fly to right. Here is Richie Zisk. 5-7 against Eckersley, and he struck him out. So Zisk struggling. He does have a hit, but he's also struck out twice. And his power bat has just totally disappeared for right now. The Sox hope that changes shortly, but right now he's got a power shortage. All right, so Eckersley did fine. 1, 2, 3, so he's no problem for his fatigue. Here's Barrios. He has until inning 7 to worry about that, so he's good to go this inning. Bill Melton, 1-3. Solid single for Melton. Again, he's an E stealer, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay right where he is. Here's Larvell blanks. Now, he did a sacrifice bunt last time, so there's no reason not to do it again. He's an A bunter, become a B bunter because the corners are in, and that's a 7. So we go to the B bunter, and a 7 says batter's thrown up by third baseman, runners advance. So again, blanks with another good sacrifice hit. Call it 5-4 with Orta covering first since the corners were charging. And it puts the tying run in scoring position. They got 2 chances, Kendall and Kuiper, to bring him home. Although Melton does not run well. 1-3 is a ground ball second base C. That'll get Melton to third, but now there are 2 outs. But at least if Kuiper can come through with a hit, it's guaranteed that Melton will score. So it's all up to Dwayne Kuiper. Little pesky Dwayne Kuiper. 6-7. He's got a ground ball second base X, so Orta might have a bad time with this. Orta is a 4. E23. So he may not be able to get to this. We'll see. That's a 16. He will get to it. And that is an 8. E23. There is no 8. It's only an 11 or a 17 for an error. So it's a good play for Orta. And again, Barrios pitches around a jam. That runner on third, but got out of it. So 6 innings are in the books. 2-1 Sox. Expecting more runs, but then you do have 2 pretty good pitchers out there, so maybe that has something to do with it. Not maybe, it does have something to do with it. Here's Jim Spencer. Starts the 7th. 6-7. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. That's Kuiper. And Kuiper, good defensive second baseman. He's a 2 E13. Now they've hyped him up. Watch him make an error. 2 and a 3, though, is going to be... He will get to it. He will get to it. A 2 and a 3. It's a G3, so he does get to it. Now this is a 16, and he is an E13. So E13, there is no 16, so it's a good play for Kuiper. He was able to make the play on a tough bounce, tough chance. But he gets Spencer out, 1 away. Here's Oscar Gamble. 3-7. Yeah, it's a walk. So Gamble is aboard. He's an E-stealer. He's not even going to be held. Here's Eric Soderholm. 2-4 for Soderholm. He pops it up to first. Field over there by Melton. 2 down. It's up to Chet Lemon. Now he has homered. So, never know. 4-6. This time he will strike out. So Eckersley still cruising along in good shape. Just not getting run support. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. It's 2-1 in favor of the Sox. And I've played these 7 innings or 6.5 innings in about 22 minutes. So that's pretty good. Of course, the low score helps, but I think the flow of the game is better too, at least from my perception. Here's Buddy Bell. 5-10. Catcher X. That's Essien. If we look at Essien's numbers, Essien is a 2 E4. 2 and a 9. 2 and a 9. 2 and a 9 is a P/F, but nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a pop-up. This is a 10. 10, and he's an E4. There is no 10, so good play. Simply going to be a pop-up. It might even be a foul out. Let's see. P/F, I think, is a foul out. Not that it really matters. You're really getting picky when you do that. Yeah, foul out's what it says. Actually, it says a foul out. So it's not a pop-up, it's a foul out. If you want to be really super technical. So it's a foul out, one away. Either way, he's gone. That's all that matters. Now here's Norris. He's 2 for 3. 110. Well, he's going to be 2 for 4 now. It's ground ball to order. And there's 2 away for Johnny Grubb. 2-4. 2-4, ground ball to order. So order makes the play, just like you ought to do. And at the end of 7, still a 2-1 standstill. Well, not a standstill because the Sox are leading, but it's been 2-1 for a couple of innings now. And Eckersley's going to go back out there. He's only got a walk. That's the only thing he's done since he reached this point of weakness, so he's still pretty good right now. Here's Essien. 0 for 2, 3-7. He will walk. So Eckersley can get himself into trouble with these walks. And now the Indians bullpen going in full force. They do have Don Hood, a lefty. Don Hood, a lefty, is just about ready. And he would probably face Orta if it gets to that. Right now they're going to have Gar in there. 2-8 for Gar. It's ground ball back to Eckersley. It's a fielder's choice. Call it 1-6. Essien's retired. Gar is now the runner at first base. He is a C stealer, so he could conceivably try to go. And I think he will. Try to get himself into scoring position. So as a C stealer, we know we get a +5 from the catcher and Eckersley. So we know whatever we have is going to be a +5. He's a C stealer, which makes him an 11. +5 is a 16. -2 for being held is a 14. So a 1-14, and Gar will make it. 7, he does make it. So Ralph Gar, stolen base. Stolen base for Gar, and now it's up to Bannister. 5-5, and that's an in-home run chance, but he does have weak power, but he could still get a hit. 1-9 would be a hit, and I believe it's 2 stars, but I'll double check it. 2, so let's see here. I believe it's 2 stars, but I need to go to the book just to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong with that. Let's take a look here just to make sure. I believe it's a single with 2 stars when it's weak power. Where'd it go here? I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. It says here, as in advanced play, players with weak power may not hit home runs. In this situation, change all home runs to a single 2 stars. So everybody goes 2 bases, which means Ralph Gar will score. So it's a clutch 2-out single, or not, that's actually a 1-out single by Bannister, but a clutch single nonetheless, and that's going to be all for Eckersley. He's going to have to depart, and with the lefty order coming on, the Indians will go with a lefty of their own in Don Hood. On the 77 season, Hood was 2-1 with a 3 ERA. Did start 5 games, but he's also got a good relief rating as well. So the only other lefty they have is their closer, LaRoche. They don't want to use him. So it is going to be Don Hood. And Eckersley will go 7 1/3. He will face 29 batters, and I'll do the rest later. But that's where we stand right now. Bannister with that big single. Here's Orta, lefty on lefty against Hood. 3-8 against the lefty is a fly ball to left. Out number 2. That'll bring up Richie Zisk. And you're going to keep Hood in because you got Spencer and Gamble, a couple lefties coming up next inning. 6-10. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Larvell Blanks. And Larvell Blanks is a 4 E28. 4 and a 6. 4 and a 6. A 4 and a 6 is a SI1, so that's going to get through for a single. It's a 16. 16 and Blanks. We said Blanks was a 28. So let's make sure there's no 16 on this 28. There is a 16, so it's a single plus an error. How about that? So a single plus an error. And that's going to put runners at second and third. So Zisk will reach on the single. And then he will go there to second on the errant throw on the E6 by Blanks. And that will allow Bannister to go to third base. So runners at second and third, only one out. Spencer, the lefty, the batter, against Hood, lefty on lefty. So the infield is in against Spencer. Choke that run off. 2-5, 2-5. Ground ball, second base, A. So let's look at the chart. And this is where I will go maybe to the super advanced. There's a chart that you use, or that you can use, on ground balls. And so we're looking at ground with the infield in, we're looking at ground ball A, and ground ball A with runners at second and third says a 1. Go up here to 1, it says batters out, runner holds. So in that situation, at 2-5, it was a ground ball to Kuiper, and with the infield being in, everybody froze right where they were, 2 down. And now it's up to Oscar Gamble, although they could pinch hit with Lamar Johnson. So let's see how the Sox want to play this. I think they will. They're going to go ahead and pull Oscar Gamble and bring in the righty Lamar Johnson, who's like their right-handed DH. So Lamar Johnson is in. If you walk Lamar Johnson intentionally to load the bases, you got Eric Soderholm to deal with. But the Indians also have a right-hander ready to go. So let's see if they make that move as well. They will. It'll be right-hander Tom Buskey. So Tom Buskey is going to come on, right-hander, in place of Hood to face Lamar Johnson. So Hood faced 3 batters. And let's see here. Wait a minute, that's a third out, isn't it? My bad. I didn't catch that. It was an out here. There was an out there on the fly to left, and then there's an out on the ground out. So that was 3 outs. Never mind. So keep Lamar Johnson on the bench. Keep Hood in the game. I kind of got ahead of myself there. Although this Buskey and Johnson thing could come up later. But right now, we need to get Oscar Gamble back in his rightful spot. Not giving the Sox 4 outs here. They don't need that kind of help. So let's make sure we've got where we need to be here. It's Gamble, Soderholm, and Lemon. Yes, okay, we're straight there. All right. So in all that activity, 1 run does come in. It's a 3-1 ball game. And Barrios went 1, 2, 3 in the 7th, so he's great on his point of weakness worries. Here's Rick Manning. Sox do have their closer, Laren LeGros, light tossing if he's needed. 2-10, and that is a ground ball to the pitcher. So Barrios, an easy ground ball out. Brings up Rico Carty. Carty 6'9", and oh, he found a good hit here. 1 to 9's a triple. I don't think Carty had any triples, did he? He had 1, so then maybe this is it. 1 to 9's a triple. Anything else is a double. That's a double for Rico Carty. So Carty with a 1-out double brings up Bill Melton. Bill Melton, 4-7, and he's going to walk. So all of a sudden Barrios running into issues. Now LeVar Blanks is scheduled, but he's going to be pulled back for a better hitter, I do believe. Although he did hit 286 on the season. You know what? I'm going to keep him in there. He hit 286. I'm going to let him hit. He is 1 for 1 with 2 sacrifices, so they're going to let him hit. 4-7. That's another walk. That was back to back. And like I said, what I used to do when I rolled back to back, I call it a foul ball, but I'll let it stand nowadays. So the bases are loaded. And Fred Kendall now. Fred Kendall may get pinch hit for. He's only a 249 hitter. Let's see who they got on the bench for the Tribe. They do have Andre Thornton. So big Andre Thornton's going to pinch hit for Kendall. And then Ray Fosse will come in to catch. So Ray Fosse will be the new catcher. So we've got Thornton pinch hitting. In a big spot. And we have Fosse will come in to catch after that. Now, do they want to stick with Barrios? He is almost at his point of weakness. They're going to go ahead and bring in LeGros. That's what they got a closer for, right? So Laren LeGros, fresh arm, is going to come in. Try to get Barrios out of the situation. Barrios goes 7 1/3. And he faces 35 batters. And this is going to be LeGros. He is their stopper. See if he can pull off the stops here. Now this is a real man save again because bases are loaded, only 1 out. 2-run lead. Base hit could give up the lead. Here's Thornton, 1-8. Ooh. And Thornton just did it to him. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a double. This is at least going to tie the game, if not give the Indians the lead. 6, so that's a double. So we know for sure that Thornton's going to have a pinch hit double. That's going to score Carty and Melton, the 2 slow guys. Now Blanks runs pretty well, I do believe. And as a trail runner, he was not being held, so it's 13. Don't get the 2-out bonus though. The double is assumed to go to center, which means Chet Lemon's arm. He is a 0. So 1-13, they could send him and try to take the lead, or he could have second and third with 1 out. They're going to go with second and third and 1 out. So 2-run pinch hit double by Andre Thornton has tied the ball game for the Tribe. And Dwayne Kuiper is in. So is the infield, as the runners are at second and third with 1 out. Infield is in against LeGros, who just blew the save. 1-4. That's ground ball shortstop B. So again, we'll go back to our chart with the infield in and a ground ball B. Another part of the hybrid where I'm using the super advanced version of this. So with the infield in, runners at second and third, and a ground ball B, you get a 7. You get a number 7 right here. 7 says batter safe, lead runner is out. So they got the lead runner. Larvell Blanks is out. And that was a 6-3, or I'm sorry, a 6-2 force play. 6-2. Fielder's choice. And Thornton goes to third. So runners are at the corners. Right now, runners are at the corners. 2 outs for Buddy Bell. It's a big opportunity here for Buddy. He's 0 for 4. 5-3. Ground ball pitcher X. That's LeGros. He's a 2, E15. 2 and a 3. That could be problematic. 2 and a 3. A 2 and a 3. Oh, he does get to it. 2 and a 3 is a G3, so he just did get to it. It's a 10, so I don't think he has any errors on 10s. We'll double check it. E15. Nope, there's an 11 and a 12, but no 10. So it's a good play. LeGros makes the tough play, throws over to Spencer, and the inning's over. But 2 runs come in for the Tribe to tie the score at 3. We go to the 9th, tied 3-3. And let's see what they're going to do here. Now, the scheduled hitter in the top of the 9th is Oscar Gamble. But with Hood technically still in the game, they're going to pinch hit with Lamar Johnson. That's what we were going to try to do earlier. And I got kind of ahead of myself. But Hood's not going to be in there. And actually now with the score tied, they're going to go to another right-hander. Their other pseudo closer, Jim Kern. Since there's no save situation now in a tie game for the home team, Jim Kern will be coming on. Hood went 2/3 of an inning, facing 3 batters. So right now you have Johnson, Soderholm, and Lemon facing Kern. Kern, a 5-4. Catcher X, that is the new catcher, Ray Fosse, just came in the game. So Ray Fosse, look at his numbers. Ray Fosse's a 2E6. So a 2E6 for Fosse. That's a 7. A 2 and a 7 for a catcher is a P/P. Nobody's on base, so don't have to worry about that. 8. And he is an E6. So a 6. There is no 8. Good play. Pop up to the catcher. But Johnson fails as a pinch hitter. Need to write Fosse down here. The new catcher. All right, so Lamar Johnson is retired for the first out. Here's Eric Soderholm. Sox thought they had this one in the bag, but let it slip away. 5-5 is a strikeout, and now they're in danger of losing again. So 2 down. Here's Chet Lemon. Splittorff kind of shut him down the previous game, and now Eckersley and the bullpen's kind of doing the same thing. 1-8 for Lemon. Here's a 2-out single. So Lemon will single. Now he was actually caught stealing last time, and Kern's a little bit better holder at +3. Fossey is a +2, so you still get the +5. So if they wanted to try it, he's a C, which means it's an 11. +5 is a 16, -2 is a 14. They're going to try it again. 1 to 14, he'll make it. And he does. So this time he does steal successfully. Another thing I'm noticing with this using this new approach for stealing is I'm stealing more. Sometimes trying to mess around waiting for the jump, it would deter me from trying steals. So I think this is going to bring in more stolen bases in the game, which was lacking in the replay. So I think this will help. All right, now Jim Essien. Chance for Essien to break the tie with a base hit here against Kern. 2-7, and he does it. 2-7 is a single 2 stars. So a single 2 stars, and that stolen base made all the difference in the world, as it will allow Lemon to score, and the Sox reclaim the lead 4-3. Now here's Ralph Garr. 6-4 off of Kern, struck him out. But that's going to end the inning, but Sox pick up that all-important run. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Tribe. They trail it 4-3. And LeGros now, since he was not able to keep things in check, he is going to have to try for a win. Or they could replace him. You got Norris, Grubb, and Manning, 3 lefties coming up. So they're actually going to go to the bullpen. They're actually going to go to a lefty. They can't go to Wilbur Wood because he pitched 5 innings last game, so he's unavailable. But they do have Dave Hamilton. So Dave Hamilton, a lefty, is going to come on. LeGros goes 2/3 of an inning, but Hamilton's going to come on and try to get the save. Now the Tribe could go to their bench for some righties. They've already used Thornton. Let's see who else they might have. Right-handers on the bench. They got Paul Dade, and they've got Ron Pruitt. So we could be seeing some pinch hitting here. Norris and Grubb. Well, Grubb's a 300 hitter. You're not going to pinch hit for him, but they will use Paul Dade. He will pinch hit for Norris. And they do have Pruitt just in case they need somebody else. But right now, it is Paul Dade. And if it goes extra innings, he will go into right field. But right now, Paul Dade looking for some magic here against Hamilton. 4-9, and that's a base hit. Base hit for Dade. Pinch hit single. And now he is a B stealer, so Hamilton's a +1. So we look at the B stealing. B stealing is a 13. You add 1 makes it a 14. Subtract 2 makes it a 12. So 1 to 12 he could steal. Or let's see if they got anybody to pinch run. That's better. Now everybody's on the bench is either a B stealer or less. So do they want to try it? I think they will. So Paul Dade's going to go. Again, he is a B stealer, which starts him as a 13. +1 from Hamilton's a 14. -2 for being held as a 12. 1 to 12, he'll make it. And he does, so it's a stolen base for Paul Dade. Big pinch hitting job there with a single and a steal. That brings up Johnny Grubb. He's a 300 hitter. Does have a decent column 1, so they're going to leave him in there. But he found column 2. 2-5 is a strikeout. So that didn't pay off. 1 away, and that brings up Rick Manning. And he will be pinch hit for because he really has a bad result against lefties. So that means they're going to the aforementioned Ron Pruitt. So Ron Pruitt is in. They will lose something drastically defensively in center field, but they're going for the tie game, or at least the chance to tie it, if not win it. So with the runner tying right at second, they're going to bring in Ron Pruitt. 5-9 is a fly ball to right field B. That's 2 down. So last chance, it's Rico Carty. He did double his last trip. It's 2 for 4. 612 is a ground ball pitcher X, so that is he is a 3 E21. So Hamilton, see if he can make this play, is a 3 E21, a 3 and a 6, he'll get to that. So we know he's going to get to it, a 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6 is a G3, and this is a 7, and he's an E21. So E21, there's a 7 right there. So Hamilton boots it. Hamilton with the boot, and that puts runners on the corners with 2 outs. The Tribe's still in there. And Bill Melton, the batter. Chance for the Tribe one more time. Here's Bill Melton. 2-3 for Melton. He walks, and that's going to load the bases. That is going to load the bases for Larvell Blanks. Larvell Blanks facing Hamilton. Hamilton's got to bear down. One base hit could end the ball game, although Carty doesn't run well. And in fact, I think the Tribe might bring in a pinch runner. Let's see here. And he would stay in the game to play DH, whoever that was. Yep, they're going to bring in Frank Duffy. They're going to bring in Frank Duffy to pinch run. So Duffy's going to pinch run for Carty. Now, if it goes extras, then Duffy's going to stay in the game to play DH, but he also runs much better than Carty, as Carty runs at an 8 and Duffy runs at a 14. So a base hit could be all the difference here. But it's up to Larvell Blanks to do it. Where's Larvell? 6'10", ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm. Soderholm is a 2 E11. 2 and a 5, I think he'll get to that. Let's double check it. 2 and a 5, he does get to it. E11, and that's a 13 for a third baseman. E11, there is no 13, so Soderholm makes the play to preserve the victory. It wasn't easy, but the White Sox win it by the score of 4-3. Cardiac time for Bob Lemon, but it paid off as the Sox get the victory. And we'll go through some of the totals. We know Hamilton pitched the 9th inning to get the save. And the win actually goes to LeGros. It would have gone to Barrios, but he blew the save, so LeGros gets the Vulture win. Kern will take the loss. So he went 1 inning. And Kern gave up 2 hits. Did strike out 2. A little bookkeeping here. And he faced 5 batters. And so Kern will take the loss. All right, Hood faced 5 batters in his 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a single, and that was it. Nothing else. All right, Eckersley gave up 3 runs. I believe all were earned. The first 2 were on homers. Yep, the run scored before the error occurred, so that was an earned run. So he ends up giving up 3 runs on 2 home runs. See how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got him for 4 hits. Of course, 2 of them were homers. Did walk quite a few, though. Check his walks. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. I've got him for 3 walks. That's not too bad. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him for 6 strikeouts. So final line for Eckersley, 7 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 homers, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a no decision. Hamilton for the Sox in the 9th, a walk and a strikeout and a hit. So a walk, a strikeout, and a hit, and a save. So, and no runs. And he faced 6 batters. All right, LeGros. 1, 2, 3 batters faced for LeGros. And he gave up that big double, so that was the one hit that he gave up. And the inherited runners came in to score off of Barrios. So Barrios is going to give up all 3 runs. None of them on homers, though. And let's see, no walks, no strikeouts for LeGros. All right, let's check the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits off of Barrios. Let's check his walks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 walks. Check his strikeouts. 1, 2. Just 2 strikeouts is all I had him for. Kind of unusual. So now let's fill in the rest of the situation here. For the White Sox, they end up with 4 runs on 7 hits. And they committed, see how many errors they committed. I thought there was an error in there somewhere. There was an E1, I thought. Yep, right here on Hamilton. So that was the only error they committed. 4, 7, and 1. Let's check left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They left 6 on base. So for the White Sox, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 6 left. For the Indians, they got 3 runs on 11 hits, and they committed several errors. There's an E5 here on Buddy Bell and an E6 on Blank, so that was 2 errors they committed. So 3, 11, and 2. And let's check the left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They left 14 runners on base. So talk about missed opportunities. 14 left on base. So there's your final line score for the Sox. 4, 7, and 1 with 6 left on. For the Tribe, 3 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 14 left on. Winning pitcher was Laren LeGros in relief. The save to Hamilton. Loser was Jim Kern. So that's going to do it for Game 24. The Sox improved to 14 and 10. Game 25 will be Game 2 of the series. I'm going to play Games 2 and 3 of the series on the computer offline. And then after I finish that series out, we'll come back and do another video before the start of the next series where I will recap what happened in the 2 games that weren't on videos. So until next time, hope you enjoyed that, and keep rolling them however you wish to roll them. And until next time, we will see you all down the road.